So the big news from this past weekend was Joe Biden announcing that he has cancer. Prostate cancer, to be exact. Apparently his cancer is aggressive and has metastasized to his bones, and am I shedding any tears? No. What I feel above all else is vindication. I want to smear shit in the faces of the Dem establishment or any other fucking lib who tried to gaslight the public and swear up and down that Biden is totally fit to serve another 4 years in office. Imagine if Biden stayed in the race and some fucking cow won in November, and then just less than 4 months into his second term, he is hit with a cancer diagnosis. Imagine the outcry surrounding that. Leading up to the election, we were told that this old fossil, who mumbled and stumbled throughout his debate with Trump, can totally serve another 4 years. He is perfectly healthy and mentally sound, and there should be no concern whether someone who would be 86 by the time he would leave office can even fucking survive another full term. I would find this comical more than anything if he did somehow win another term, and to an extent I do still find this comical because, again, all of the gaslighting surrounding legitimate concerns over whether or not Biden could serve another 4 years. I also just feel immense frustration because look at the situation this country is in now. We have a fascist in the White House, and at this point, if you want to still give me shit for calling Trump a fascist, go fuck yourself. Deporting naturalized citizens over mere suspicion of them being gang members with no due process, no actual evidence of them being gang members, outside of stupid shit like shoddy Photoshop images. Like that one photo of Kilmar Arbrego Garcia's knuckles with badly placed text writing out MS-13 across them. Or he's having ICE round up naturalized citizens because they dare protest against our precious, precious ally Israel because Trump is totally a president who values the concept of free speech. But maybe we wouldn't be in this situation if Biden didn't stray away from his original plan of just being a one-term president. From a Politico article published in December of 2019, former Vice President Joe Biden's top advisors and prominent Democrats from outside the Biden campaign have recently revived a long-running debate whether Biden should publicly pledge to serve only one term, with Biden himself signaling to aides that he would only serve a single term. While the option of making a public pledge remains available, Biden has for now settled on an alternative strategy, quietly indicating that he will almost certainly not run for a second term, while declining to make a promise that he and his advisors fear could turn him into a lame duck and sap him of his political capital. You had the right idea initially. Don't try to run for a second fucking term. It's not like Biden was so mentally sharp during the 2020 primary. He was already stumbling over his words, gaffing left and right, and in general, he just came across as a winded old man because that's exactly what he fucking was. The only reason Biden won in 2020 is because we had a major pandemic that year that Trump completely fumbled the handling of. He was literally telling people to inject disinfectant, and to a lesser extent we had the BLM protests that year as well, and Trump was effectively threatening that these protesters, who were by and large peaceful, would get shot, and most voters in general that year were just sick of Trump. Biden didn't get those 81 million votes because this country was super enthusiastic to elect him. People were like, we're fucking sick of Trump, just give us anyone else please, and that someone else just happened to be a decrepit old man. But unfortunately, the average voter in this country has the attention span of a goldfish, and once they got tired of the decrepit old man, they were like, you know what, we'll take another 4 years of Trump. And throwing Kamala into the race proved to be an abysmal failure. For one, she's just a charismatic black hole. In the 2020 primary, she couldn't even make it to Iowa before dropping out. And obviously in 2024, she was too tied to Biden's presidency. There was even a leak a few months ago where Biden told Kamala to not stray her campaign's messaging too far away from him because he was too concerned with maintaining his image and his legacy. Fuck this country staring down the barrel of fascism. What's really important is the 80-plus-year-old man living out his remaining 5 seconds of life post-presidency with his ego intact. And the fact that Kamala was like, okay, I won't distinguish myself from Biden, and even point blank say in interviews there won't be a difference between my presidency and Biden's presidency, just shows how weak and ineffectual Biden's administration was. Trump tried to overturn an election and incited an insurrection because he couldn't handle losing 2020 fair and square. Biden's administration could have prosecuted Trump to the fullest extent of the law, but instead Biden appointed Merrick Garland as Attorney General, an ineffective piece of shit who sat on his hands for most of Biden's term when it came to prosecuting Trump. Because we need to show bipartisanship, we would look too radical if we went after the guy who tried to overturn an election and incited a coup. Biden and his administration are a huge reason as to why we are here. They helped normalize Trump's and the Republican Party's extremism by painting it as something that is just a simple disagreement, and something we shouldn't go that hard on because we believe in reaching across the aisle, or even flat out capitulating to Trump and the Republicans on issues such as immigration. You helped normalize the extremism and paved the road for a second Trump term, and for that reason alone, you and your administration will be remembered as a failure. So Biden getting cancer is nothing I'll be fucking crying over personally. And I'm also fucking tired of seeing all of these libs on social media scolding people for not feeling sorry for Biden. Have you no dignity? How could you not feel sorry for someone who just contracted cancer? You're disgusting. I do usually feel sorry for people who get cancer. Hell, cancer is a very touchy subject matter for me because I had a grandmother who passed away from cancer. My father had cancer about 10 years ago that he beat, fortunately. I even have a predisposition to cancer because quite a few people on my mother's side of the family have contracted cancer, and quite a few of those people have died. But when the person in question who has cancer is a war criminal who happily aided and abetted a genocide for over a year, and held the reins to the most powerful and influential office in the world, basically, and did nothing to stop this clear-cut atrocity, I'm not going to feel sorry one bit when any misfortune occurs in that person's life, and I'll instead think they got exactly what they fucking deserve. Spare me your moral grandstanding bullshit. Where the fuck were your tears for any of the Palestinian men, women, children who lost their lives, or lost the lives of loved ones, and were actively being starved under Biden's watch? Exactly. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Bye-bye.